The video shared by Ukrainian military intelligence on July 27, 2026 shows a colossal explosion in Crimea. What blew up? A Russian S-400 Triumph surface-to-air missile system. Operators from Ukraine's Unmanned Systems Department burned a launcher and the crucial 96L6 radar station right at its combat position. Turns out, the ultimate shield is quite susceptible to spontaneous combustion. This event shatters the myth of invincibility surrounding a premier air defense network. We are witnessing an ongoing recalculation of the geopolitical landscape. The S-400 was designed to be the definitive shield against aircraft, cruise missiles, and ballistic targets. Its destruction by Ukrainian forces exposes a critical vulnerability. This recurring event opens up wide corridors for further Ukrainian drone and missile attacks deep into Russian held territory and even into Russia itself, with strikes reported on oil facilities up to 100 kilometers away in places like Rostov, Yaroslav, and Udmurtia. Imagine the psychological impact. The system meant to protect the crown jewels of Russian military infrastructure, command centers, logistical hubs, strategic bomber bases, is now a burning target itself. This reality significantly alters the strategic calculus. With conventional air defenses proving porous, the perceived risk to critical Russian assets escalates. Consequently, the threshold for a disproportionate response, specifically the consideration of tactical nuclear weapons by Moscow, becomes a looming shadow. A desperate leadership, watching its conventional deterrent fail, might view tactical nuclear strikes as the remaining option to halt a conventional defeat. This is the grim reality of these successful strikes. This forms part of an ongoing pattern. Ukraine has been systematically dismantling Russia's air defense umbrella. The timeline of S-400 destruction is a testament to this persistent effort. On August 23, 2023, near Olenivka in Crimea, an explosion obliterated a launcher, its missiles, and personnel. Just a month later, in September 2023, near Yevpatoria, another S-400 system met its end in a complex operation involving drones blinding the radars and Neptune cruise missiles delivering the fatal blow. The destruction continued into 2024. In May, a ballistic missile strike wiped out an S-400 complex in Mospin, Donetsk Oblast, destroying two launchers, damaging a third, and obliterating the 96L6 radar and control point. November 2024 saw back-to-back successes. Strike in the Kursk region destroyed launchers and killed key personnel, including Almaz anti-specialists, followed days later by the destruction of components in Simferopol, Crimea. The campaign relentlessly marches on, with drone strikes wiping out 4 launchers and 2 radars in Novorossiysk in November 2025, a reported $1 billion strike in Belgorod in March 2026, and a coordinated attack hitting launchers in Bryansk and Crimea just weeks ago in July 2026. Every system removed is one less set of eyes watching for the next raid. India also operates the S-400 system. The immediate burning question is, if the Russian S-400 can be taken out repeatedly, is the Indian S-400 equally vulnerable? The short answer is yes. The technology is fundamentally the same. The physics of radar evasion and missile interception remain identical across borders. However, the context differs entirely. India faces a unique threat environment, primarily from Pakistan and China. Replicating the Ukrainian success against an Indian S-400 would require a level of sophistication and sustained effort currently challenging for regional adversaries to muster independently. Let us analyze the technical and geographical factors. Ukraine enjoys the backing of the collective West. This means access to real-time satellite imagery, advanced electronic warfare capabilities to blind or spoof radars, and sophisticated long-range strike weapons. Ukraine's strategy likely involved a multi-domain approach. Cheap, expendable drones to saturate the radar, electronic warfare to confuse the operators, and a precision strike weapon to deliver the final blow. The geography of the Black Sea and the relatively flat terrain of southern Ukraine also played a role in facilitating low-altitude radar evading approaches. Pakistan armed forces operate entirely outside this massive integrated intelligence and technological support network. Executing a complex, multi-layered suppression of enemy air defenses mission requires synchronized action across various platforms, drones, electronic warfare aircraft, and precision munitions. While Pakistan develops indigenous and imported drone capabilities, orchestrating a swarm attack combined with advanced jamming against a heavily defended target remains a monumental task. India builds its strategy beyond the constraints of regional rivals. The lesson from Ukraine is clear. Relying on a single point of failure in an air defense network is a fatal flaw. This underscores the critical importance of a robust, layered air defense system. India has been meticulously building this architecture for decades, recognizing that relying on a single silver bullet like the S400 is a strategic error. A layered defense ensures another layer is ready to intercept the threat whenever one layer is breached. The effectiveness of this concept, combined with offensive electronic warfare and precision strikes, was vividly demonstrated during Operation Sindoor in May 2025. Following a tragic terrorist attack in Pahalgam, the Indian Armed Forces launched a high precision, multi domain offensive across Pakistan's Punjab province and Pakistan occupied Jammu and Kashmir. During this offensive, the Indian S400 operated with total impunity, fucking Pakistani aircraft at will. When Pakistan attempted a retaliatory strike, they launched JF-17 fighters firing CM-400 missiles. This amounted to a complete suicide mission. Hunting an extremely mobile shoot-and-scoot S-400 platform with outdated tactics guarantees a fiery end for the attacking pilots. Currently, Pakistan relies entirely on these high-casualty conventional strikes, operating decades behind the sophisticated FPV drone swarm capabilities Ukraine uses. However, their military planners are watching the Russian losses closely. Expect Islamabad to aggressively acquire and deploy these cheap explosive drones to replicate the Ukrainian strategy. Let us examine the components of this multi-tier Indian shield, currently evolving into the ambitious Mission Sudarshan Chakra. This initiative, announced in 2025, aims to develop an interlocked, AI-enabled networked architecture combining enhanced monitoring, cyber protection, and physical defense, similar in concept to Israel's Iron Dome. The outermost layer, designed for long-range, high-altitude threats, is where the S-400 resides, capable of engaging targets up to 400 kilometers away. India is aggressively pursuing self-reliance here with Project Kusha, also known as the Extended Range Air Defense System. Being developed by the Defense Research and Development Organization, this system aims to bridge the gap between medium-range systems and the S-400. Project Kusha utilizes three distinct missile variants tailored for engagement ranges of 150, 250, and 350 kilometers, intercepting threats like fighter aircraft, cruise missiles, and ballistic missiles. Following a successful maiden flight test of the long-range surface-to-air missile component in July 2026, the phased induction of Project Kusha is expected between 2028 and 2030, eventually operating alongside the S-400. Working in tandem with these systems is the Indian Ballistic Missile Defense Program. This double-tiered system utilizes the Prithvi Air Defense Missile for exo-atmospheric interception at altitudes of 50 to 80 kilometers and the Advanced Air Defense Missile for endo-atmospheric interception up to 30 kilometers. Recent tests in June 2026 validated Phase 2 of this program, demonstrating capabilities against intermediate-range ballistic missiles in the 2000 to 5000 kilometer band, placing India in an elite group of nations possessing an operational ballistic missile shield. Moving closer, we find the Medium-Range Surface-to-Air Missile or MRSAM system. Developed jointly with Israel and based on the Barak 8, this system provides defense against a variety of aerial threats at ranges up to 70 kilometers. It acts as the crucial middle layer, engaging targets slipping past the outer defenses or launched from closer ranges. The inner layer, designed for point defense of critical infrastructure and troop concentrations, features systems like the indigenously developed Akash. The original Akash has a range of approximately 25 to 30 kilometers. India continuously upgrades this system with variants like the Akash 1S, featuring an indigenous active seeker, and the Akash Prime, optimized for high-altitude environments. The upcoming Akash NG or new generation extends the range to 50 kilometers and improves resistance to saturation attacks. Furthermore, India employs very short-range air defense systems such as the EGLA-S manned portable air defense systems and anti-aircraft guns. These provide the final line of defense against low-flying aircraft and drones at very close ranges. The true power of this multi-layered approach lies in its integration. The Indian Air Force operates the Integrated Air Command and Control System, riding on the Air Force network backbone connecting all space, air and ground assets. The Indian Army integrates its Akash system, an AI-enabled fully automated control system, into this network, alongside the Navy's Trigun system. This creates a joint air defense center, providing a comprehensive, real-time picture of the airspace and enabling a synchronized response. The destruction of Russian S400s in Ukraine serves as a wake-up call for nations relying heavily on single advanced systems. It highlights the evolving nature of aerial warfare, where cheap, expendable drones and precision munitions defeat expensive, complex platforms. For India, the path forward, clearly demonstrated during Operation Sindoor, involves continued investment in its layered air defense architecture, integrating diverse sensors under initiatives like Mission Sudarshan Chakra and developing robust counter-drone capabilities. The goal is creating a network so dense and resilient that the cost of an attack outweighs any potential gain. The geopolitical consequences of those exploding radars ripple far beyond Eastern Europe, demanding a continuous evolution of air defense strategies worldwide.